Today's news. Court warns about Zain Ali. Detention of head of Azerbaijan National Statehood Party upheld. Azerbaijani ombudsperson appeals to Nakhchivan Interior Minister over police violence. State agencies conceal incidences of torture, alleged human rights defender. Musavat Party celebrates 100th anniversary. In today's court hearing on the lawsuit against Khural newspaper editor-in-chief Avaz Zain Ali, Narimanov District Court issued a warning to Zain Ali. Judge Mazahir Sadegov presided over the hearing. Executive Director of the Presidential Works Department, Agabay Asgarov, filed a libel lawsuit against Khural editor-in-chief and correspondent Kamal Hussein in August 2007 for the insult of his personal honor and dignity. The case was based on 3 articles printed in July and August of 2007, Publishing House Cuts Gold, Death Place of Azerbaijan's House, and Not Azerbaijan Publishing House, but Azerbaijan Factory. The articles reported legal violations committed by the director of Azerbaijan Publishing House. The plaintiff demanded an apology and a retraction by the newspaper, as well as a 250,000 manat fine for the defendants. He also demanded that the 2 men be brought to criminal responsibility under Articles 147 and 148 of the Criminal Code, libel and insult. Narimanov District Court partially fulfilled the lawsuit and demanded the newspaper to publish a refutation and pay 1,000 AZN in compensation. Today's process was prompted by the non-execution of the court decision by Zain Ali. The judge issued a warning to him. Today, the Baku Appeals Court heard the appeal by National Statehood Party chairman Nemet Panali and his friend Ceyhun Faziliev against the January 10th ruling by the Nasimi District Court for 2 months pre-trial detention. The judge dismissed the appeal and upheld the judgment of Nasimi Court. Panali was detained by plainclothes policemen on January 8th and taken to Nasimi District Police Office number 21. He was arrested after citizen Eldar Raziev reported to police that he had been beaten by Panali and another man on January 7th in Murali Gashgai Street. A criminal case has been brought against both men under Article 222.3 of the Criminal Code, hooliganism with use of a weapon. According to his supporters, Panali was actually arrested for government articles published in the independent press, including the Nota PS during and after the parliamentary elections. Azerbaijan's Human Rights Commissioner, or Ombudsperson, Almira Suleymanova has made an official appeal to the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic Interior Minister. This move was prompted by the second appeal by the Institute for Reporters' Freedom and Safety. In late December, IRFS sent an appeal to the Ombudsperson after returning from an investigative trip to Pusian, where the relatives of a former political candidate had been victims of police violence. The response IRFS received from the Ombudsperson's office quoted reports from the Nakhchivan Interior Ministry, which claimed that Chapay Alasoy had been running an unregistered and untaxed retail business. Alasoy had, they said, ignored their initial warnings, and so they had been forced to take direct action. On January 6th, IRFS sent another appeal to the Ombudsperson, saying that the allegations of illegal trading were unfounded, attaching Alasoy's tax registration certificate to the appeal. In response, the Ombudsperson appealed to the Nakhchivan Interior Ministry, requesting an official investigation. In a press conference today, the Azerbaijan National Committee Against Torture presented its annual report. According to Committee Chief Elchin Bebedov, the situation in this area is not encouraging. The number of torture appeals have risen from 106 in 2009 to 169 in 2010. 11 people died in prison in 2010, and suspicious circumstances have not been ruled out. The majority of the complaints were directed at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Ministry of National Security, the Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Defence, the Customs Committee, and the Ministry of Transport. Bebedov reported that government agencies had not provided any assistance during investigations of torture allegations. Despite numerous appeals to government agencies, they denied all knowledge, said Bebedov. According to him, incidences of torture are being concealed. We have been accused of bad-mouthing the government in our reports to international organizations, but the international community has a right to know what's happening here. When Bebedov spoke about Elvin Asgarov, beaten to death in Police Station 24 on January 13th, he said that he would require a thorough investigation by the Ministry of Internal Affairs, with serious repercussions for guilty parties. To mark the 100th anniversary of the Musavat Party, the party's youth assembly held a meeting with youth branches of other political parties and young intellectuals. The party has pledged to hold a series of events throughout the year of its centenary. The youth meeting today was the first of this series. They focused on the place of young people in the political process. Musavat Party Youth Organization Chairman Turel Abbasili said that Azerbaijan's youth would benefit from studying the Musavat ideology, which should, he said, be adopted as the national ideology. The youth representatives of the Party of Hope, the Popular Front Party, the Democratic Party, and independent representatives of the youth organizations voiced their agreement. The Musavat ideology is a well-developed national ideology, and there is no need for Azerbaijani society to seek out anything new, declared party leader Izigambar. Party member Sabir Husseinov spoke about the political activity among the young. He emphasized that they are the ones who will kickstart rejuvenation and reform in Azerbaijan. Former MP Pana Hussein called upon young people to get involved with party leadership.